we need to give ourselves some grace.
Yes.
We are moms or dads, depending on who's listening. And we do so much in a day. We need to give ourselves some grace and love ourselves and be proud of ourselves for how much that we do. And we're not dropping the ball when we don't do something. We're just didn't get through everything. And that's okay because we're not perfect. And we need to give ourselves that and let it be okay.
Welcome back, Crafted Entrepreneurs. So today you have a special guest because she's an avid listener of the podcast and she's also a friend in real life. We met as hockey moms years ago when I first moved to Orange County, and she was always so sweet to me, so I held her close. So today we have Jamie Waddell. She is a devoted lover of God. She's a prayer warrior, a dedicated mother and wife, investor, entrepreneur, and a special education teacher. And she's really helped so many students along the way in their different, struggles, when it comes to reading and learning. And she's also been like a huge network marketer for a long time. She's been in a couple different endeavors and helped a lot of people on their health and wellness journey. So I'm really excited because when I was thinking about who do I want to show up on the podcast to add massive value to all of my listeners, Jamie was one of the first people that came to mind because she just started a new business, and I'm so proud of her because she's doing an online reading assessments and creating tutoring programs so she could help people anywhere. And I'm so proud of you for making this happen because you needed to do this for a long time to start this business because you're so passionate about helping people, especially kids. And you make such a big difference in the lives of others. So Jamie, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I have been listening for so long, and I tell Cayla all the time, I go on my walks and I get so excited. I go on my podcast app and I'm like, does she have a new one? Please tell me she has a new one. And then when she does it, I'm like, oh man. So I'm just so excited to actually be on the show. So thank you so much for having me.
Is this your first podcast you've been on? Or have you been on?
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh.
First of a lot, hopefully.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So I want to go back to who you were before you became a special education teacher. What made you choose that career path?
So what's interesting is ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a teacher. So most kids would get dolls for Christmas. I would get gift cards to teaching little shops. It was called Teacher's Pet in San Diego. And I would go and I would buy, teaching things. I would have my own little lesson book, everything. And I would just teach whoever would listen to me in my room, anything. I would make it into my classroom. So I always knew I wanted to be a teacher, but circumstances didn't align. And I actually just went into marketing, just business, once I graduated from college. And it wasn't until I met my husband that he said to me, what do you really want to do in life? And I said, I want to be a teacher. And he said, let's move in together. Our parents were so upset. Let's move in together and I will pay for you to go back and do what you really want to do. So it was so
I didn't know that.
Yes, it was so awesome. I knew he was the one.
Yeah.
I
was to say, I feel like you are married to a saint.
Yes.
Because you guys just are so good together.
We are very good together.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky.
Yeah. You guys have a lot of respect for each other. And just the fact that he did that. And then I know part of what you're working on right now is to help him with his future too.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. Well, I love that because he's a firefighter. He's actually a chief now, which is so hot. But anyways, when you're a firefighter, you spend a lot of time by yourself. They're at work a lot. And so any extra time that they have to be away from our family is really hard. Yeah. So my goal is always to bring him home. Anything I do, any network marketing that I've done, anything, I always want to bring my husband home so he can be with our family more. So that's definitely a goal.
Okay. So you met him, you became a teacher. And how soon after that did you have kids?
Let's see. Well, I planned it to the month with our children because you have to as a teacher. Mm-hmm. So we got married. I was almost 25 and we had Brody at 27. Aww. So pretty quickly after.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you start to have kids and now he's in high school.
I know. My baby.
I know, but it's crazy because Cooper and him used to play and it still hasn't hit me that Cooper's going to be in high school next year. And they're going to be going to the same school.
Together. I love it.
So they'll be on the same team again, maybe. Hopefully.
They will be.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just speak that into existence. Okay, so you've been busy, like doing the network marketing, raising a family. Your kids are amazing. They're so busy. Your daughter's a dancer. Brody's in hockey. Like, you guys have a lot of stuff going on. How do you keep God at the center of it all, keep a healthy marriage, have awesome kids? Like, how do you do it?
Well, there's a couple of verses. I'm really bad. You're very good at verses, but I just I read and I keep like a snapshot, almost like Cliff Notes, and I'm not good about scriptures, but I do know
you don't get to put yourself down. You get to just say, this is what I do, and own it.
So I think that the reason why I'm able to manage all of it is because I always think about like what I'm doing. I think it's John 13:35. The best quality of your life should be love and the way that you love others. And so I always put that first. Okay, how can I go into every part of my life and just really love others, love my family, love my husband, love the students that I teach? And I really just keep that in the back of my mind. So I think that's probably how I do it. And I also have a ton of energy. Like, if you're going to be watching this, you're going to see my hands going crazy. So
you should watch it on YouTube because it's entertaining.
So I think that's how.
Yeah. So really what I'm hearing is whatever you focus on, you get more of. So you're focused on love, then you just create love in your life. And a lot of people are focused on the wrong thing right now. What do you think it is that's helped you stay focused on that verse?
Well, I think obviously having the love of my husband and, watching the kids watch everything we do. So I know that every single day my kids will tell me, you work so hard, mommy. And I think that just fills me up, and I want to keep on going because I want to make them proud, and I want them to grow up to be hard workers. And also I have immense amount of love in my heart. I just want to give it to everybody. And so it helps me keep focused because I just want to go that path. I don't want to go the other way.
Well, I think that's really a gift that God has given you.
I think so.
Yeah, because I'm not like a people person like you, where you're very bubbly and like you're,
Yes, you are. Don't put yourself down.
But you know what I mean? Like, I love that about you, that you just like, sometimes I just need to like a break from people. I never see you like that. Like, I'll go to hockey and have a hat on so nobody talks to me.
I have my breaks. It's like maybe once every couple weeks, and Ryan will be at work and I need to get nachos. And then I watch all my shows, like all the housewives, and I just sit there, and normally the kids are doing something with their friends. And it's like that moment where you don't even want to answer your phone or anything, but we all get our breaks.
Wait, so do you make your nachos or?
No, I go get them
at Taco Bell?
No, Las Golondrinas.
Oh.
It's like a nice, it's like one of those kind of nicer Mexican places in San Clemente, but it's so good.
Okay, you need to.
So good.
We need to go and have nachos there together because I'm a nachos girl. Yes.
Totally.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so you have built this incredible family, but you still felt like there was more that you had in you to give. So you decided to start this business, and it's already successful. Like, I just got a text from you, like, oh my gosh, the people are loving it. And I'm like, so excited. How have you gone about, you've created the business, but how have you now gotten customers?
Well, so far it's been referrals, which I'm so lucky. I'm a teacher. So my business it's called The Ignited Learner. And our mission is to ignite the love of learning one syllable at a time, which I love.
Oh, so
it was like such a play on words because I'm married to a firefighter. So I'm like igniting. I don't know. I just thought it came to me one day and I love it. But the whole point is to do reading assessments so that parents know exactly where their kids are with reading. And then I tailor all the resources to meet exactly the needs that they need to fill, the holes that they have. And I provide that to parents. Now, a lot of times, even though you give that to them and you empower parents, sometimes they just don't mesh well with their children. Yeah. They just want to be mom or they just want to be dad. They don't want to be teacher also. So I have a bunch of different tutoring programs, one-on-one, group, monthly, whatever it is. And I kind of just created that because I saw such a need over COVID. I saw that parents, they want to be such good parents and they wanted to help, but they're not teachers and they needed somebody to help direct them. So what happened was I just started talking about it and just naturally, people came to me and they said, I've been struggling. I'm almost kind of embarrassed to say it, but I don't know how to help my child. And so after I did one, then that person told somebody, that person told two people. And it's the best advertising ever because it's natural and it's just organic. And I just feel so blessed. And every single parent I've worked with has actually cried to me after because they all want to be great parents. We all do, but we don't know how to help our kids in certain ways. Like I wouldn't be able to be my son's hockey coach.
Right.
I would need help. I need help. So unless you're a teacher, you're not going to be able to help your kids in the way that they really need it without support.
Right.
So I wanted to give parents that support.
I'm obsessed with what you're doing just because I've had 2 kids that, you know, have really struggled and we've had to go, this is before you, obviously.
Right.
Hello, or else I would have been a client. But, you know, we had to have lots of help. Like at one point, Channing was going 5 days a week to tutoring because reading, but he was, you know, he was in TK when COVID happened. So really like those foundational months kind of got stripped away. So I love what you're doing and how you're helping people. And that's exactly what makes a good business is there's a problem.
Right.
You went to go solve it. And now you're getting all these referrals, which is the best way to grow your business because this is why we love network marketing. When we find a product we love, we just want to tell people about it.
Absolutely.
Well, you're the product now. Like
right.
your tutoring, you know, programs are the product and people are of course going to talk about it. And so I want to remind everybody that's listening in or watching this right now, it's like, what are you doing right now to remind people to refer people to you? Because sometimes people might go, oh my gosh, Jamie's so busy.
Right.
You know, I don't know if she could take more clients. So I'm just going to, you know, keep it my best kept secret.
Right.
But if you go out of your way and teach people like, hey, you know, for every person you refer to me, I'll give you X, Y, and Z.
I actually have an affiliate program, which is awesome.
Okay. She is the best student ever over here. Okay. Tell us about the affiliate program.
So basically, whenever somebody calls me, they will tell me who referred them. And then I will give them 20% of the reading assessment or the tutoring program that the person buys.
That is generous.
It is. I'm doing that in the beginning. I may have to scale back as I go. But when I'm building right now, I just want to give and I just want to get great people and I want to get people to see what I do. Obviously, as is, you raise prices here and there as the demand goes up. But right now, I just want to be very generous and I want to give back. And I know it'll bring so much love to this business. So that's how it works right now. So.
Okay. But it's so smart to like already start your whole business off with that. The way you're going to get to where you want to go, like quicker, right, is with collaboration.
Absolutely.
It's using people around you, helping them get what they want, and then you'll always have what you want. You know this in all of our network marketing years. So tell me about the hardest part for you when it comes to now having a job, being a mom and a wife, and running a business.
I think the hardest part is just trying to make sure that I give my family the time that they deserve. So a lot of times you'll go, if you go on my website, if anybody wants to go, you'll notice that there's 15-minute consultation calls. Obviously they're free, but I did that all around the clock because most of the people that are going to be calling me, actually all of them are going to be moms. Mm-hmm. They're going to understand. So instead of doing Zoom calls for consultation, I'm just doing phone calls. And so that helps me to, while I'm driving to hockey, while I'm waiting there, I can actually take calls and help moms and book things. And it doesn't have to be, so I'm sitting, in front of a Zoom call, because obviously that's the assessments are, I'm going to save that time. So it's undivided. It's great. So I think that's how I'm doing that, where I can do that around the clock. I have weekend hours, everything, just so that I can fit it into the, little moments of time. And it doesn't necessarily take away from my family as much, but my family's also a part of it. I mean, my daughter helps out. I'm going to give her a salary. She helps with, printing out the resources and, writing things on note cards and everything. So they're so proud of me. They see me do so many things because I've always had a heart for it. But this is the first thing that this is what God wants me to do. And it's very obvious. So I think that including them in, my kids will come in the classroom with me while I'm prepping things and they'll hang out with me. So just trying to include them.
Yeah. I think that a lot of us can struggle with that, oh my gosh, mom guilt type of thing. I'm focused on my business over here. I'm on my phone. I'm on this call. But it's all about the power of your focus, and you're doing it for them and it's not taking away from them. It's actually adding to their lives. What is I know your why, part of your why is to, bring your husband home. But what is your overarching, why you're willing to take the calls on the way to hockey and go out of your comfort zone?
Well, it's interesting because originally you always start something, well, you always have a passion for it, but normally people start a second business for the money, right? Of course, if we're being honest. But I didn't start this for the money. In fact, my husband has said to me, I don't really care, babe. He's like, I don't care how much money you make while you're building this. He's like, because I see that it's your true heart. But I think the reason why I originally started it is because I see such a need. I see parents struggling so much, and I know I can help them. It's really hard when you're seeing somebody struggle and you know you can just jump in and help them and give them a lifeline and get them out of what they're dealing with. But obviously, ultimately, I would love to retire from teaching and do this and hire on teachers to do it with me, because I want more flexibility in my life. I want to be with my family, and I love teaching, but it's kind of a lonely job. Like, I'm in my classroom and that's it. We kind of close the doors and I have the students who I love so much, but I want community. I want to be around people. I want to be around parents. I want to be able to, if my son needs me or my daughter needs me at 12 o'clock, I can go and help them out.
Right.
I don't have to look for a sub. You know, if somebody's sick at 5:30 in the morning, I have to write sub plans, you know, and I write 6-7 pages of sub plans because I have so many needs in my classroom. So just the flexibility and the time, but really it all starts with the love. This business really started with the love. All the other ones started for the wrong reasons, and I realize that now.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So what are your plans? Like, if we can have like well executed plans, it's a great idea. It doesn't always work out that way, but what are you going to do in order to actually make that happen?
well, my teachers, if they're listening, they're going to really be upset. But my ultimate goal is to retire actually leave teaching this year and probably go on just not resign, but take a leave of absence.
Okay.
And just make sure, because I'm a planner, you know, we're really type A, and I want to make sure that I set myself up, but I'm going to market through hopefully referrals, and I'm open to doing Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, you know, whatever I need to do. But ultimately, I want to do this full time, and like I said, you know, hire teachers and probably end up managing most of it. Maybe just doing some assessments, but you know, doing more of the management part, more of the talking to the parents, booking the calls. That's the ultimate goal.
I love that. So, you know, you're right now it's referrals. Then you're saying, I'm hearing you say Facebook, Instagram. What would be your, okay, if I'm going to do it on Facebook right now, what would you go do to get clients?
I would probably do a short video of just talking about the problem. What are the problems? Is it hard to do homework with your kids? Do you find your child, you know, hating reading, avoiding reading? You know, just finding the pain points that parents deal with, and we've all dealt with, every single one of us that's listening to this, regardless if your child is really high academically, at some point or another, they've struggled with something. And we all know how that feels. And just kind of talking to the pain points and offering a solution, you know, taking some burden off of them.
Yeah, you're such a good marketer.
Oh,
over here. You better get on
gee,
it now.
I wonder why. I had the best coach ever.
But I suggest that you start doing that now.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. Like, we want pipelines full of people, right?
Okay.
So I need to see some more videos of Jamie. Okay, so you've got all of this amazing things like going on, but I want to talk about just like family life again for a second, because you guys have it dialed in with how much you have going on. What made you guys decide to go private school for Brody for high school?
That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. So Brody is extremely intelligent. And I don't say that to brag. I don't at all. Being intelligent sometimes makes other things hard. And, you know, social was hard for him. He's had the best friends. They're amazing. He'll always be friends with them. But what happened is him being a hockey player, going to the school that we were going to, there was nobody that played hockey. He was the only one. And as the years progressed, he really felt the distance between his friends because they were playing soccer or baseball. And when it got to 8th grade, I saw him start to have kind of no care for the academics either. He was just kind of losing it all because nobody was really pushing him. The teachers were great, but it's hard to push a child that's really high academically in a classroom that there's 35 students. And so we just realized, well, also the school district that he goes to only has one team for the whole school district. So we knew he wasn't going to get that team aspect going to a public high school. And he really wanted that. He was really yearning for that. So we were looking at a couple private schools, and the one that he currently goes to, they were just really interested in him. They made him feel important. And I knew the academics were going to really challenge him. And he did score really high. So he's in all the honors, and it's challenging him finally. He likes to come home and write papers. I don't know who my son is. I'm just like, this is amazing. But it was just more of like, that's what he needed. And my husband and I realized that, and we had to make it happen. So whereas our daughter may not need that, everybody needs something different. And it wasn't until COVID that I would ever have thought about a private school for my children.
Oh, wow.
And after COVID, I think, hey, whatever anybody wants to do, homeschool, charter school, private school, more power to you, because everybody needs something different. So
I think that's really good to point out for any parents that are listening in right now, because I was telling like my friends that we're all talking about high school next year. It feels like you're choosing a college nowadays for like the high school. It's crazy, but I think it's good for people to hear that it's not one size fits all for your kids, because so many parents are going, well, like that's good for, X, but it's not good for Y. And Cooper, like he wants to go to that school so bad that Brody goes to. And I'm like, Charlie will be like eaten alive and like spit out at that school. Okay. Like it's not her vibe whatsoever. And so hearing that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's going to be okay that they go to different schools, because it's hard as a hockey player, because you're such a unique sport. And Cooper's the same thing. He's the only hockey player at his school right now. And he just went back there after a few years of being at the hockey academy, And it's like he doesn't have a community there. He can be friends with anybody like throughout the school day, but it's not like they're hanging out on the weekends, because Cooper's like he's leaving for Detroit tomorrow.
Right.
It's just such a different lifestyle. So that's interesting that Brody. I mean, I'm happy for him that he's going to the school now where there's a couple hockey teams.
Yes, I'm so happy. And they're so supportive. Obviously, some people say, of course, they have to be supportive because you're paying them. I don't look at it like that.
Yeah.
I look at it like I'm paying now, and maybe I won't have to pay later because he gets such great grades and he gets a scholarship. But if not, that's okay, because that's what he needed right now. So.
Yeah. How did you guys, because it's pricey to go to a private school, and you guys are working like on really like California salaries. Like you guys are servants of California. That's what I say. Teachers
Absolutely.
And firefighters. So did you guys budget for it, or how'd you make it work?
It's funny. I don't know how we do it. And you've actually given me a lot of compliments about, I don't know how we do it with what we make, but we're actually really good savers. And we just cut things. You just cut little things. And as you cut little things, all of a sudden you're like, wow, I can do this. We don't do as many going out to dinners, that kind of stuff. But when there's a will, there's a way. And we kind of knew this was coming for a while. So we started to plan for it. And, some months are a little bit harder than others, because, again, if people are listening and they have a firefighter husband, they know that the months just go up and down. So we just kind of ride it out, and we cut where we can.
But now you're going to be in the overflow because you have your own business. And you're going to start receiving in that way.
Right. Let's hope.
Yes, you are. I believe so. I'm praying that for you guys. But how do you get into that mode where you can just be like, in some months, or you're just like, you have joy no matter what? How do you have that?
I mean, not to get too much into it, but when I had Brody, I had a medical issue from having him. And I was sick for 2 years, and I almost died, and we lost our home. We lost everything.
I did not know this.
Oh, it was terrible.
Oh my
we lost
gosh.
everything. We were devastated, completely devastated financially, and we had to start over again. We lost all the money we put into our home, everything. And so I think that knowing that we came out of nothing, we know that we'll be fine.
Wow. I have chills. How did I not know this about you?
You're amazing. I don't know, but it was hard. I mean, my husband was actually told that his wife was going to die.
Wow.
So I think that that's also why he's so gracious and grateful, just because he knows that everything will be okay. So.
Well, yeah, when you are stripped to nothing, basically, then when you start to get something, you're a lot more grateful.
Absolutely.
But hopefully people listening in don't have to get to that rock bottom moment. But a lot of times that's what it takes for people to like become joyful. Absolutely. And realize like all this stuff that I have in my life doesn't matter.
Exactly. It's so true. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still like nice things.
Of course.
I still want to work for, nice things, but I just know that that doesn't matter at the end of the day. So it's easier for us to cut those out when we have to.
Yeah. It's just such a different perspective because you know what matters.
Absolutely.
in your life. How do you guys keep the marriage alive when you guys are all over the place?
We are. We try to
Look,
sit next
you guys,
to each
you
other.
have to watch her on YouTube because she's like so in love and it's so cute.
Well, he's so hot. I mean, seriously. We do really good about like doing random date nights. Now that our kids are older, we can sneak away here and there. Like if Brody's at hockey and Brooklyn's at cheer, then we can sneak away for a couple hours and just, go get dinner somewhere. We also love watching our shows at night, and we just hold hands and we just watch our shows, and it's so special.
What's the show you guys are watching right now?
Oh, I probably shouldn't say it because it sounds really...
What? Oh God, what is it?
It's called Sex Education. But it's actually really good. It's really good. And it's so awesome. It's like one of the number one shows on Netflix right now. And at first I felt really like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm watching a show that's called this, but it's a really good show. You might want to check it out. Like watch one. It's like English humor, but we really like it.
So you guys watch things that make you laugh,
Yes.
that bond you guys together. Chase and I, the last show we watched was Jack Ryan. It's very different than Sex Education. But
I couldn't watch that one. It was too
gory.
I
I read this thing that like that's the only type of thing I will watch. But like Chase and I and it's you guys have to watch this on YouTube. Interesting. No, I read this thing that it's like if you actually enjoy watching things like that there's something wrong with you because you're such as like a special
Tell
teacher.
me more.
Yeah, keep going. But like it calms me down. And I think it's because like looking at those problems, I'm like, I don't have that problem. Nobody's trying to kill me tonight. So
That's true. That's a good point.
It's sick. But
yeah, he loves those shows, and I feel bad. So Brody will sometimes watch them with him, and Brooklyn and I will watch our girl shows. So.
Okay, see, there you go. Okay, so you guys do just like the simple things is what I'm hearing. And it really is like, I think a lot of us, we complicate it. We think it has to be this big romantic gesture to like keep the marriage alive, but it's really about doing the things that you used to do together before you had kids, like just the things you used to love.
Absolutely. And I watch you and Chase, you guys go on walks a lot. And I love that because we planned our entire life before we had kids on walks.
Aww.
Where we were going to live, what we were going to name our kids, everything. And we've gotten away from that because it's hard, especially as the time changes and everything to walk. But I love when we go on walks together. I feel like that's when we plan our life, our future.
I think there's something about the movement. Right? Like when
agree.
you're not stagnant just sitting at a coffee shop, but you're walking together and just like all of the energy that's might be like suppressed is like coming out of you while you're walking.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
I love that.
Okay. Well, you guys need to start doing walks.
Definitely.
So, okay. I've loved learning so much about like what you guys do as a family to keep it all together, what you do in your marriage. Now, how do you feel about, we've talked about like your verses and you have like, you're keeping love at the center of it, but how do you feel your faith is going to kind of guide you on this new journey in your tutoring business?
Well, every morning I get down literally on my hands and knees. Every single morning, never fails. And I just thank the Lord for everything that he's given me. And I pray that he's the CEO in my business and he guides me and he directs me. And I really feel it every single morning. I really do. And I'm just going to keep that. He's going to be the CEO. He's going to drive me. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but I'm not going to put that out there. I know that there's so many families that I have to help, and I know that he's going to guide my path. So just praying and staying faithful. And I talk to the Lord a lot in my day. I thank him. I ask him questions. And I think that just staying grounded throughout your day is really important.
Yes.
So that's how I've been doing it. And that's how it's been helping me.
Yeah. It's like so simple, these things, but some of us just don't take the time of the action of like, you're physically like surrendering in the morning.
Absolutely.
How vital is it on your faith journey to be around other people who, believe in what you believe in?
It's so huge. The school that I work at, it's a public school, but it might as well be a Christian school. The majority of us, if not all, are believers. And it is so important to be around that. Anytime something happens, we all just pray for each other. And it is so lovely. And it's so important. It's hard because a lot of people that are important in my life are not believers, but I think that's why if you follow me, and you do, Cayla, you see I post a prayer every single day because I'm praying that is every day they see that. And the people that I love and are so important to me that I want to come to faith, I hope that they read that and it resonates with them. And one day they will, give themselves to Jesus. That's my dream.
Okay. It sounds to me like you live a very like intentional life.
Absolutely.
To think, to think about growing the kingdom by just posting that, like, and you do it. I know where do you get those? I love it.
The Bible app.
Oh,
I love the Bible app. And I just screenshot it and make it so, because not everybody's going to want to read the whole thing. And sometimes I don't put a prayer on if it doesn't like make me feel something, but I'll put something on every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So for those people right now that are maybe struggling with living intentional, what's some advice you would give to them?
Well, I would just say, like, every morning that you wake up, think about how you can make somebody else's life better. And if you keep yourself focused on somebody else or other people, God's going to give back to you. He's going to be generous to you. So get rid of like what you're worried about. And of course, we all worry about ourselves. We do. But if you can try to put yourself in the position of thinking about others and how you're going to serve others, God will give back to you. And so it's not that you do that for that, but if you think about other people, it will ultimately make you a better person.
Yeah. I love that. So good.
You're so cute.
Like, how do you top that? Like, what do I say after that? It's again, like one of the simple things that we can do that a lot of people get so wrapped up in their problems, in their big issue of the day. Like, your problems aren't going to go away.
Right.
You have a new problem every day, right? But it's about creating good habits in your life that, like you going on your Bible app, it's a habit.
It's a total habit.
Right.
And I get so sad when I miss it. Like, because then it stops counting your days. It's so sad.
Oh, that's right. Because it's a check,
Yes.
a checkbox. That's right. Okay. So you're rewarding that part of the brain that likes to win when see, that app developer was smart with that Bible app right there. Okay. What would you say to the person that struggles with creating good habits? A lot of people have bad habits. I have bad habits. Like, we all do.
Right.
But that's a good habit, and you can build on a good habit.
Absolutely. I would just say pick one thing. I think people try to change everything so quickly. Like right now I'm struggling with exercising. I was so good, and then I go back to work, and then life happens. So I would say go for a walk one of the days this week if that's where you're struggling. If you're struggling with your faith, read the Bible app one day, then 2 days, then 3 days, like build up to it. Everything we just need to build up. We need to give ourselves some grace.
Yes.
We are moms or dads, depending on who's listening. And we do so much in a day. We need to give ourselves some grace and love ourselves and be proud of ourselves for how much that we do. And we're not dropping the ball when we don't do something. We're just didn't get through everything. And that's okay because we're not perfect. And we need to give ourselves that and let it be okay. You know?
I just got a little pep talk, Jamie. You're good at this. First podcast, you're like motivational speaker over here.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Well, I'm excited. You have a ton of goodness to give the world. And I've loved watching you really just like, I remember when you first came to me, you didn't even want to make a reel. Do you remember that?
When you asked me to do a live, I thought I was going to die. And I was like, what do you mean I have to do a live? And then after that, I think you crereated a monster. Because now I love it.
You're like doing dances on your reels. I'm like, oh, go girl.
I know. But I thank you for that.
Yeah.
And I will say that one of the biggest things you taught me was to lean in to what your God-given gift is. Don't try to have somebody else's gift. Don't try to do something that somebody else is doing. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people in network marketing. You know, they don't own that. They're just a part of that. I love it. And
right.
I've met so many amazing people, and I still obviously have a part in a network marketing company. But I think that in order for us to be authentic, it has to be our God-given gift that we're using. And you kept telling me that, and I just had to take a long time to find that.
It's okay. It's all in God's timing.
Absolutely.
Right? So anyways, I love you so much. I'm so grateful that you came on the podcast, and I'm excited for all the listeners to maybe hire you and use your stuff. I mean, you guys will not find a better person than Jamie. So check her out. Follow her on social. What's your handles?
So it is Jamie_Waddell 7. But I think if you just search Jamie Waddell, I'm in like a black dress, blonde hair. You'll
find her.
You'll see.
We'll make sure to link her up too. So,
and then for my business, the best way I would just say, you can go to Instagram and the link is on there, but it's theignitedlearner.com. So yeah.
Remember, firefighter, chief, hubby. Do you have a picture of him on the website?
No, I should put one on, but you can go to my Instagram and there's 10.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You can see the hot husband on Instagram.
And my adorable children.
Yes. Okay. Well, I love you. And I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is such an honor. And thank you for listening. I love all of you.